sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a sunny day in Michigan. Those are pretty rare, and so we got to take advantage of those when we can. I kind of a rough day around the house here today. We're in the process of losing our dog. I got a feeling he's not doing very well, and so I pray for my wife that she never gives up on anybody. I guess it's kind of cool, but it doesn't look good. All right, but today's verses are from 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. We're going to talk about a brokenhearted pastor, the pastor who's started a church, and he brought the good news to him, right? He put people in place to get that church going, and now he's sad, and it seems difficult, but we'll get into that when we talk about it. Let's talk about who's here. How about that? All right, we're going to start right at the top. What do you say? How about Chuck B right here? Good and early this morning. And Chris Conley. Good morning, Chris. Ken Gooch showed up here. He said, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. But Bert Reggiani was right behind him with a good morning, gentlemen. Okay, I don't know. Soriel, good morning. And I think we have another one here. Rose, good morning. And good morning, Tom. It's, yeah, it's part of life. I know. It's just never easy, right? And I think that's everybody that's commented. Okay. All right. So, oh, wait a minute. More popped in. Well, that was weird. They just all of a sudden like 5 new ones popped in. AJ Jackson Sr. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Aaron. Good to see you. And hello, Grandpa. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. And Bert, thanks. I appreciate it. All right. So we're this one hit home to me. I'll be honest with you. These verses hit home because even in our small church, I've seen this. I've seen some of this behavior, some of this, what Paul's going to be talking about here. And it's not easy. You know, I think as we go through our life and as we go through churches, we all see that there's always somebody that doesn't get their way, or somebody that thinks things should be a different way than they are. And sometimes it's painful, and it doesn't go well, even for people that respect each other. And I think that's where we're going to start. But let's pull up the verses and we'll get right into it. Okay. I know you can see it, even though I can't. For I made up my mind not to make another painful visit to you. For if I cause you pain, who is there to make me glad but the one whom I have pained? And I wrote as I did, so that when I came, I might not suffer pain from those who should have made me rejoice. For I felt sure of all of you that my joy would be the joy of you all. For I wrote to you out of much affection and anguish of my heart, that many tears, not to cause you pain, but to let you know the abundant love I have for you. I'm going to stop there for 1 second, if you don't mind. Now, there's been a conflict. We know that. And in the first book, 1 Corinthians, he talked about a lot of things where there was chaos, but you can see this is a guy that it appears as though they're questioning him now because he corrected them, and he's deeply troubled. You can hear it in his writing, and because this was more than just a ministry project to Paul. Paul's heart and soul was in this. These were people he loved. I guess he figured the letter might be a softer blow than actually coming and correcting again. But I love how he gives them a glimpse of what he's feeling.
and how, the emotions he's going through. He's going through affliction and anguish, his tears, but he still loves them. The thing is, the next verses point to something that, as I've seen in our examples, and that we should never turn away from. Now, if anyone has caused pain, he has not caused it to me, but in some measure, not to put it too severely, to all of you. For such one, the punishment by the majority is enough. So you should rather turn to forgive and comfort him, or he may be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow. So I beg you to reaffirm your love for him. For this is why I wrote, that I might test you and know whether you're obedient in everything. Anyone whom you forgive, I also forgive indeed. What I have forgiven, what I have forgiven, if I have forgiven anything, has been for your sake in the presence of Christ, so that we would not be outwitted by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs. Paul points, okay, that's the verses for today. How's that sound? Okay. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained this morning, but he's telling them, okay, you've disciplined him. He seems to point to the specific person, and I think that's the thing. What I could ascertain from yesterday. Some people believe it was the same guy from 1 Corinthians 5, where he talked about the being humble and not being in all the sexual sin and stuff that was going on at the church. But not everybody agrees on that, because he doesn't name a name. He doesn't point to a certain sin. But it seems that the person he was referring to is discipline. It sounds like the church took the steps that it needed to correct. But we know that correction can cause stress in a relationship. Love and correction can be painful to both parties, really. I mean, you anguish over having to correct, and then that person might not take it well. That person may get defensive, they may get angry, but then he moves from that discipline. He wants them to move from that discipline to restoration. How many times have I heard Tom say, we need to win them, not to defeat them. We need to win over the brother. Discipline. I think the cool part of this is he's really telling them that it should have been part of the plan all along. You discipline, but then you immediately do it with the thought that you're going to restore. You want to make it right and win the brother back. Encouraging the convert, he was encouraging them to confirm their love for this guy, not confirm the sin, not punish him only, but to show genuine restoration. And just as God, if you think about it, just as God has done with us through Jesus Christ. And he said, that I love how he says, I forgive them as well. I think he knows that his heart is in the right spot. His goal has always been restoration of this church, to recover this church. And then I love how he ends it with we know the schemes of Satan, right? We know that Satan would love to kill, steal, and destroy. It's written. Jesus talked about it. But not only God's children, but his church. What greater victory for Satan would be to destroy this church and have it go back to their pagan worships and whatever they were doing. Paul's solution is to face the issue. Lovingly correct and discipline. Work together toward restoration. So Satan's schemes don't work. We're not outwitted by Satan, and the church can become solid it can become a place of loving and caring. This is as true today as it was back in Paul's time. I mean, the church itself is filled with broken people. And we have to understand that when we deal with broken people, that we're not in their shoes. We're not part of. We have to love a brother even if he's wrong. But we don't have to allow what he's doing. And I think Paul's very careful in this whole situation, saying it. We've done what we needed to do to correct the problem. Let's get back to loving the guy. That's what I have for you today, guys. I hope it was a blessing. I think we had a couple people come on. Thank you, Chuck. Escardo, thank you for showing up. And thank you, Tom. Have a nice week. Connie will be here for prayer at 9 o'clock, so please join her. Have a firmly rooted day, gentlemen, and may someone see Jesus in you today. Peace.